This week's show brought to you by Roosters, a fun casual joint. Frank Shoup, Georgetown's big name in cars.
The Bluegrass Method, cutting-edge basketball training with Scott County's own Michael Richardson.
Welcome, everybody, to the Scott County Cardinals News Graphic Girls Basketball Coaches Show. We're here to talk about the Lady Cards and the Toyota Classic. It is that time of year, mid-January. You can tell by looking outside, but it is good basketball weather. 3 games in 3 nights. It will be some top competition, challenging competition for the Lady Cards, who are ranked in the top 10, squarely in the top 10 of all the polls, all the ranking systems in the state. But they've got to back it up this week. They'll be playing the Ryle Lady Raiders on Thursday night. That's a rematch of a game won by Ryle last year, so a little bit of a revenge factor for the Lady Cardinals as they go into that one. Then they take on Perry County Central at 5:30 on Friday. Perry Central, a new visitor to the Toyota Classic, but of course one of the top programs in the state with the all-time winningest coach, Randy Napier, in charge there. And then Saturday night, it's another big rematch from last year against Simon Kenton, the Lady Pioneers, capping off the tournament's round robin for the girls. They'll play each team once in the rotation. That game is at 6:30 on Saturday night. Last year it was a win for Simon Kenton, but they've had some injury issues this year to kind of get adjusted and get things a little back to where they expect to be. Not quite there yet, and Scott County has taken advantage of its first half of the season to be ranked ahead of them, so it'll be interesting to see if they can stay there going forward. Last week, a big week on the road, as finally the month-long road trip wraps up for Scott County. They traveled to Lexington to face Paul Lawrence Dunbar on Tuesday night, and that gym has always been a problem spot for the Cards, but they pulled out a comfortable win that night, got up big and cruised home in the fourth quarter to the victory. That made them 15-2 on the season, and then 2 nights later they took off for Louisville for a battle with DuPont Manual, a team with a state championship tradition only 5 or 6 years ago, a team that came into Scott County and won convincingly last year. It was all Lady Cards on Thursday night as they picked up their 16th win of the season by a convincing, in fact, they were about ready to take it to a running clock early in the fourth quarter. Didn't quite get there, but a margin of 20-plus points. I can't remember the final score. I believe 83-56, something of that nature. But the Cards, the three-headed monster of Owens, Riddle, and DeFore combined for 65 points in that one. And when you do that with your big three, you're going to win most games. And just a great defensive effort as well, as they held Manual to 3 points in the third quarter of that one. So they're coming in on a hot streak, 6 consecutive wins for Scott County as they come into what's probably everybody's favorite week of the year, the Toyota Classic. We spoke with Coach Helton about everything that's been going right lately. As we know, around Christmas time, a little bit of a speed bump for the Lady Cards, but they have gotten over that. And they've had a couple of undefeated weeks in a row, and all of it, as we said, on the road. So Coach Helton with a lot to be excited about. He talked about the week that was and the really exciting, busy, challenging week that is to come. Let's see what Scott County coach Steve Helton had to say.
The Toyota Classic field features 4 girls teams regarded as favorites to win their respective regions.
It's an incredible event for our community, for our program, for our school. Toyota Classic, to be a part of that is, we're very honored. And as well, what it brings into our community, our boys and girls are competing in one of the best I don't want to say state tournaments, but one of the best in-state tournaments throughout the season. And, on the girls' side this year, I can really speak on, we're bringing 4 teams that are, top 25 teams, and it's going to be a challenge for us to play 3 nights in a row against that competition. But it's all about getting ready for postseason, and this will definitely prepare us with the crowds that we'll have here, the environment, the atmosphere. We're excited for the Toyota Classic this year.
Ryle stands out as a possible revenge game on opening night.
Ryle, well coached, extremely athletic as far as their basketball IQ is really high. If you jump a screen, they're going to backdoor you. If you don't go, they'll fade on you. So, very well coached team. We've had trouble with them. We did play them twice last year and got them in one of our tournaments, or 2 years ago. Then they come here last year, first game of Toyota Classic again, and they put one on us. So, very well coached team. be a good challenge for us. And, short turnaround time. Then you got to play Perry Central, the girls' all-time winningest head coach, Randy Napier, and, the job that he does at Perry Central. I love him to death as a coach, as a friend. I know when he won the all-time, or when it was announced that he was the all-time girls leading coach, I sent him a text and told him, hey, we're glad we were a part of a few of those wins, especially at Perry Central. And then you turn around and play what'll probably be one of the most physical games of the season against Simon Kenton on Saturday night, right before the boys championship game. So should be great. For our girls crowd, for our boys crowd, for our kids to play in front of a big crowd. It's always, again, preparation for district and regional time, and hopefully from there on.
Simon Kenton was a physical opponent in last year's Toyota Classic, and the game should follow that pattern Saturday night.
Jeff, he teaches physicality, and they're a very physical team. They hold nothing back. They're going to play hard for 32 minutes, and all the respect in the world for what he does there, Jeff. Again, not only a great coach, but a great friend off the court. But when it comes time to play, whether it's Randy or whether it's Jeff or whomever it is, we're ready to play. We're ready to compete, and it will be a great Toyota Classic, and we're so excited just to be a part of it.
Scott County was hoping to play Bryant Station this week before the weather intervened.
New coach, new team, basically. So, one side of me, I'm worried because when you play these district teams year after year after year, you pick up on coach tendencies. And every coach has a tendency. We say we don't, but we do. And, Coach Hall come from Powell and come to Estill. We're trying to pick up on some of his tendencies. So, it's going to be a new game for us. Bryant Station, they're young. So it should be, number one, it's a district game. So we're expecting a battle there. Throw the records out the door. This is all about district game for us, and we need to get off to a good, start this week. We need to play the game. The weather needs to hold off. We need to get back on routine, and we need to start playing again as scheduled, because we left the other day and said, as of now, we're scheduled to play. We'll keep you updated.
The Lady Cards overcame some tough memories from the past to win convincingly at Dunbar and Manual.
At Dunbar, I think I'd said, the Madison Central, for some reason, the Madison Central gym and Dunbar gym, we just don't play well. And second half of Madison Central, we expanded the lead. Second quarter, third quarter at Dunbar, we really expanded the lead and played pretty well. And then, didn't finish the game particularly well like we wanted to in the fourth quarter at Dunbar, but it was a good win for us. And then we went to Manual, and we've not fared too well against Manual the last few years. And for us to go up there and play about as well as we could play for about 3 quarters. And in the fourth quarter, not that we played bad, but it got into a choppy game. A lot of fouls were being called, and it was a really great bus ride home. I know that, coming back from Louisville. The kids were excited. Just before that we pulled up, they'd already canceled school. And so we've kind of got this little routine. It happened last year, Covington Scott. Covington Scott was, a top 10 team, and we went there, and right before the game, they canceled school because of sickness for the next 2 days. And we came out and shot lights out. Pulled up to Manual in the back door for some reason. We took a tour of campus. Pulled up to the back door. They had just canceled school because of incoming weather that was expected. We shot lights out. So hopefully we can get the timing down. So when we get into district and regional and state time, maybe with Dr. Hubb's help, we can get that call right before we play, just so we can ensure because the last few times that's happened, we have shot lights out, and all credit goes to the kids. They played well. They stuck with the game plan. We really challenged them as far as sticking to the game plan and with personnel, because they gave us some matchup issues. But you come down, you hit 13 threes, 13 out, I believe 27 threes. That can cover up a lot of mismatches there. So very pleased with the win, and man, this season is really it's getting away from us quick.
Juliet Smith's return from last year's injury and Zakiah Holt's senior leadership have been keys for the Cardinals this year.
Sitting out last year, I think she's seen so much. Sitting there, I know she talked to Coach T a lot. She got to hear probably more than she needed to hear from that first seat right there next to the coach. But also, it was just a great opportunity for her to learn. And being a point guard, we expect her to be an extension of the coach. and you know, the ball's in her hands. I have absolutely no worries. I feel confident with her running the show, and you can tell our team is always under control, and Juliet plays that way. You know, so we're just so excited for her growth and what she has done to our team. You know, Zakiah continues to improve. You know, we've had some lineup mix-ups, and she's come in and just doing an incredible job doing whatever she needs to do. She either hits the big shot when she needs to hit the big shot. She gets the steal and drives the court and hits the big shot, even though everybody in the gym is yelling, "Great job, Z! Great job, Z!" And she just keeps playing, plays her game, rebounding the ball, setting picks, and stepping up and being that leader. You know, Zakiah, and I told her the other night, I really in my heart feel like she's wanting to step up and be the leader of this team, and we need that. We need that locker room coach where, you know, Juliet leads by example a lot. She keeps it calm, cool, she's quiet. We do need that leader that's going to step up in the locker room, that's going to step up on the bench, you know, before the coaches get in there, after the coaches leave, and Zakiah is every day inching closer. She wants to be that person. She wants to be that person that is the vocal leader, and so I can't say enough great things about her. You know, her senior year, and well, it's hard to believe.
Smith and Holt have provided the junior and senior leadership the Lady Cards need.
And you know, granted, you dress 16 kids. You can't have 16. You can't have 16 voices. You can't have it. And then you got to be careful. The ones who are speaking out, you know, just got to be honest. They got to be able to back it up. You know, you've always got the people who, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And, you know, they can do it during warm-ups, but do it during the game. And so not only leading by example, we need that voice that's going to get it done on and off the court through the good times and the bad times. You know, this, you know, we feel pretty good right now. I'm not going to kid with you. You know, our kids are practicing well, you know, but we're a long way away from where we need to be. And I really think that's why we need to go ahead and get some games under our belt so we can see where we're at, so we can show them on film where we're at. And then everything we do is focusing on that postseason. You know, we understand that we got 11 games left, one more road game, and then we get to come back home. Like we were joking the other day, you know, we get to take a bus ride maybe to Scott County and play because it's been so long since we've been home. We're excited to be back in our home gym for 3 games, or 2 to 3, and then we'll go on the road one more week, and then hopefully we'll end February at home with the exception of 1 game there, and you know, give these seniors that senior send-off. You know, that was one of our goals we talked about. We want to protect our home court, and that's for our seniors, that's for our fans, it's for our juniors, that's for our incoming freshmen who understand that, you know, we want to protect our home court for those guys for years to come. And we're happy where we are, but work to do.
All right, that was Coach Helton, and he looks relaxed going into what should be, again, a tough week. We mentioned the losses to Ryle and Simon Kenton last year, and Perry County Central comes in with a record of 10-4 as well. So all top 25 programs, and none of them are ranked ahead of Scott County at this point. So it's been a good year so far, but now is the time that you want to make that tournament push. And we'll see what the Lady Cards have in store for them this week at the Classic. Getting back to the players, a couple of the unsung heroes, definite leaders on this team. The junior point guard, Juliet Smith. She, as we've mentioned before, has come back from the knee injury and has done so in fine fashion. And one of the few seniors that has made a big impact for several years, Zakiah Holt. She's had a couple of spot starts lately. Strong on the boards, surprises people, I think, with her ability to score 10 or 12 points a game when she's out there. Let's see what Z and Juju had to say about the season to date.
The atmosphere at the Toyota Classic is strong preparation for the February and March championship runs.
Toyota Classic, I always say it's my favorite time of the year. All the support from the community and the teams that we play, it's like good experience for Paris for districts and region and state.
I'm just really excited for it, just hoping that we can go out with wins, as the last couple years it's kind of been like rocky for us. So I'm hoping that this Toyota Classic can just be that part where our team just kind of burst off from there, and we get to really see if we're ready for state and the competition. So I'm excited.
3 games on 3 consecutive nights will be a tough challenge.
Yeah, one game at a time. Ryle definitely want to get that win because they beat us 2 years in a row, and they're really good. Perry County Central, I don't know much about them, but I heard that they are good, and Tompkins always hard because they're really physical.
Scott County hasn't enjoyed a home game since December 13th.
Yeah, especially since it's back home, and we haven't played home in forever. Plus, we played Bryan Station before we even come home, so it's just going to be a whole, new environment, but I'm glad because we have support. We're going to feel more comfortable because it's our home court. We don't have to worry about, the floors being weird or, the rims being really hard. We're just able to just have fun and enjoy on our court.
I don't even remember what it feels like to play at home. It's been so long. But, yeah, it's going to be good because we get more support when we're at home, and it's going to be good.
The Lady Cards defense has fueled the offense during the recent winning streak.
I think it's just balance between everybody. Everybody's getting shots up, and we're all playing together really well. And I think it's helping our defense is better when we're doing good on offense. So I think that's what's really good, doing good.
If I get in the rhythm, and then if I just not think as much when I play, I just play a lot better and just let the game just take over.
Juliet's recovery from her knee injury took 9 months to a year.
I started in June, and then I played a little bit in July with my travel team. And so, yeah, I've been playing and I'm working out and getting stronger. Every day I get more and more comfortable, especially with my teammates. They really help me out, and they make me feel confident in my abilities.
The team looks stronger this season with its traditional point guard back in the lineup.
Having Juliet back, it's just we all feel more comfortable. I just feel like the missing puzzle piece is here, and that we're all able to play in rhythm and be comfortable, and then everybody's allowed to play their real role. So I'm glad she's back.
Smith said the mental recovery from the injury has been more challenging than any lingering physical limitations.
At the beginning, my dad told me I was limping, and I was like, I don't even feel like I am, but I guess I was. So it's definitely mental because I didn't feel, my knee wasn't hurting at all. But as it's gone through, I guess I stopped because he stopped yelling at me about it. So yeah, it's definitely mental for sure.
Unfortunately for Smith, she missed her entire sophomore season.
The injury happened last September in open gym. Definitely want to come back, do hard, do good for my team so we can win.
Holt's senior leadership is unique to a starting lineup dominated by sophomores and juniors.
My goal is just to be the emotional leader, since I'm really close with the girls. I'm usually the one that's cracking the jokes and stuff, but I just want to take that advantage to what I do outside the court, that I put that onto the court.
Scott County played its best overall game of the season in the win at Manual.
We came out hot, and it's really good to get a win like that under our belt, top 10 team. So yeah, it felt good.
The Manual game, I think we played together really well. We were really talking, communicating on picks, and talking a lot on defense, and then everybody was just shooting lights out at Manual. And then the real thing I can say is that everybody really played their role in that game.
The Lady Cards went to a rare zone defense in the third quarter of the Manual victory.
It's something that came along in the last second, but it was really good because it was able to stop the big girl in the middle, and it kind of made her hesitant to shoot that shot and hesitant to pass the ball out too.